What's up, YouTube fan? This is David. I don't know if you remember a while back I built a deck with plastic pallets. Yep, that's me, Plastic Pallet Dave. Anyway, decided to build my own little trailer here. I suppose you can't say it's little, but it's going to be connected to my tractor lawnmower, my John Deere. And also I have it universal also, so I can hook it up to my truck, so I can, move things around. So this is the stage I've gotten so far with it. I made it all out of bed frames that I picked up from thrift stores. I got them for about 30, I would say I spent about 50 bucks, give or take, on some of these bed frames from thrift stores that I found. Anyway, I had these tires from a lawnmower that was thrown away a while back, so I kept the tires in my workshop. I knew they'll come handy one day. Anyway, let me move along here. Basically, it's all welded together, as I said. I have this, so it will tilt over when I have a lot of trash or debris, whatever I'm going to be throwing in here from my yard, cutting the trees or whatever. And this way I'm able to dump it out. And I'm deciding to put in the wheels in the back so I don't drag the trailer onto the ground. So I got the metal one here and I got this one here. There's going to be a bracket that goes with it that's going to be right here, and this way when it tilts down, you'll be able to pull the lawnmower and the trailer away from the debris that I'll be throwing onto the ground out in the road there. Anyway, this welder really kicked ass. I got it from Harbor Freight, and it's working really good. And I got it on clearance, so I got it for about, I don't know, $68, and it's priced at $200 or $200 and something dollars, and I got lucky on that. Anyway, as I said, not yet. I'm going to be able to figure out how far this is going to go until I put this onto the ground, and building some brackets here that will go with these other wheels. Where did I put them? Oh, here they are. They'll be on this side onto a bracket sort of like this, kind of closed in, but only this part will be sticking out with the rod. Well, with the rod. And then as it goes up, it'll go from here, move itself up here, and then when you're ready to bring it down, it will move itself here. It will be on a tilt, so this way it'll help itself go back that way. So I have to engineer that in a way that it will work. Also, as I said, I made this universal, so as you can see, this part here comes off, and then in here I'll put my piece that goes here so I can hook it up to my truck so I can move it around. So engineered all of this here. As you can see, this part right here was from a lawnmower where you turn the wheels on the bottom where the gear shift is. Well, an old lawnmower I kept this, and for some reason I kept it around in the workshop, and I knew one day it'll come handy. Anyway, progress has come along pretty good. Now, you're wondering what's going to go underneath this or on the sides. Well, what I did was I bought a bed liner for about $30. The bed liner fits in here perfectly. I designed it so it can fit onto the sides, and once it goes in, it's like putting on a pair of gloves, and that's the way it goes in. So that's what's going to be out and inside this frame. and the frame will stay as you see on the outside. And I will be painting it with John Deere paint completely. I am a painter. I paint cars and what have you. Anyway, I had to paint the inside in here once I put the sheet metal and I put the ribbons in. If I would have welded, it would have actually eat this metal up, man. It wouldn't really, weld as good as you will want to. The welder's just too strong for it. Even if you tack weld it, it's not going to be good because it'll eventually pop off. So I decided to go ahead and put some rivets in it. And also because I needed it thin, because I didn't want too much of a space over here as it goes down and it bolts up. So then I bought the steel rod. It's stainless steel right here, and I got that for a real good price from this company, and I paid like $53 for this, and it's a 6-footer. I had to cut it, so that other piece will be going to the lawnmower. That I'll have to do some work on that, engineer where this is going to hold right onto the lawnmower in the back, not just like the way it's been built for little trailers. So I'll get into that later on. But as you can see, this right here, if I don't break my neck here, this comes straight down, fits in perfectly, as you can see. Comes up and down. So that's about the heaviest part of the whole goddamn frame, to be honest with you. I'm gonna throw some more bed frame right up in here, and that's basically it. And then I'm gonna put a stopper in the back of this, and I'll explain what I mean by that. In other words, there'll be one going all the way across once I realize how far this is going to go from the tires into the ground. I'll be able to determine how far I'm going to put this, so when it tilts up, it'll come to a stop there, all the way across, and that will prevent it from damaging anything, or it'll keep it right where it's supposed to be, in other words, and it won't put too much weight on those wheels in the back. So once I get those wheels in the back, that'll be awesome. So I got the wheels from a jack they threw away because it was busted up and it wasn't working. And there it is. I took it apart, took the wheels off. I will be cutting those pieces off right there to use them for that. And basically, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I just wanted you guys to know that if you put your mind into something and you got some patience, some time, you can build this. And I've been at it for about going on almost 3 weeks now. So, I have to work and then come home and then, tinker around with it, and then, engineer how I go along and what needs to be done according to how I'm going to design this. So designing this is, as you go along, because I did make a blueprint, and it didn't work out that way, the way I wanted it on the blueprint. So I had to go as I go, putting it together. Anyway, I had gotten a whole stack of these bed frames. So, you go to Home Depot and try to buy these frames, these L ones. They're like 4 feet, about $10. That's ridiculous. So imagine if I would have spent the money buying them new and putting them together. It would have been a fortune here. So far, I've spent about, I would say, about $180 so far into this, because I had to buy some spools for the welder and some bids and a couple of things that I needed. Also the steel rod, and Yeah, about 180 bucks, I would say, give or take. So it's pretty much 85% completed. I will be putting a door in the back of it, and it's going to be welded with these cats I got here. Door hinges, that's right. You weld these on, and this way the door will come down and up. If you make it out of wood, eventually those screws are going to come off or rust off. This way I'll know it's not going to. So later on I will be painting it with John Deere paint on the whole entire frame. The bed liner will go in. I'll be putting the door in. Then I'm going to have to measure it to straight to the lawnmower, exactly where it's going to line up to. The steel rod was at 6 feet, so I had to cut it to the right measurement. So this piece here will be welded onto the lawnmower because it's a solid piece and it will hold really nice. So anyway, for you YouTube fans out there, if you ever put your mind into something, you can do this with no problem. So I'm going to sign off, and I'll get back with you guys when the time comes, and I'll get this going on and put the bed liner, everything, and you'll see how it works out. So just to give you an idea that if you can easily buy some bed frames and you know how to weld, you weld it together, and you got yourself a nice little trailer here. So for 180 bucks, you can't beat it. And plus, it's universal because it's going to go right onto my truck. You got it? So anyway, stay tuned. I'll be back later on once I get this going on and getting it back together. In the meantime, I got to get a bite to eat, get some sleep, and get ready for work tomorrow. Take care.